NyraBets, your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Sign up now and get a $150 bonus. Go to NyraBets.com.
Well, we're just hours away now from the second jewel of the Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes run down at Pimlico. And, of course, the big question is, will we be looking at another possible Triple Crown winner in 3 weeks plus time here at Belmont Park for the Belmont Stakes? Well, they've got to get through the Preakness first. Now, the post positions don't mean a great deal with Preakness, where they start the race at the top of the stretch, but always dreaming. He's got Classic Empire, his chief rival, right on his flank. And in my opinion, neither horse is going to let the other one get away. And we'll see how things play out, and we'll talk about the race. And in talking about the race, the first thing you have to do is talk about the Kentucky Derby. And let's go to the start. Now, you'll want to watch the 10 Gunnevero. Has a bit of an issue at the start that may have compromised him, though probably it was the wet track. But you will watch the 14 Classic Empire break out, and you'll watch the 17 Irish War Cry come in. Now, it caused some bumping. It didn't cause anybody to steady dramatically, but what it did was it forced Classic Empire out of the position he wanted to get. Always Dreaming, on the other hand, has already gotten to the perfect position. His position, he spent almost the entire race down on the inside, very much the place to be. The spot we're looking at Lee, very cleverly by his rider, he used that to outperform his odds and run second in here. It was Classic Empire, though, that was mostly compromised. And you see Gunnevero trying to rally down the center of the track. Horses were not gaining out in the middle of the track, and Classic Empire was the one horse in this Kentucky Derby that you can clearly say had a difficult trip and should have finished better. Would Classic Empire have won? Probably not, but he would have been second. He was second best. He lost position at the start, and he was very wide trying to rally, something you could not do in that Kentucky Derby. Always Dreaming had everything go his own way, just as he had everything go his own way in the Florida Derby. Now, Always Dreaming's a very good horse, and he may well be the best horse in this Preakness Stakes, but he's also a 4 to 5 shot, and at Nyra, it's very easy. I want us to have a Triple Crown hopeful. It's good for us, so I'm rooting for him in that sense, but I'm a bettor, and we're bettors here. And as a bettor, taking 4 to 5 or maybe even 3 to 5 on Always Dreaming is a poor betting proposition, as he's coming off of 2 extremely good trips, and his chief rival, Classic Empire, is coming off a bad trip. And it's going to be different in here because Classic Empire, he's drawn outside of Always Dreaming. He is not letting that one get away. And the pace is going to develop in a different manner. And as we go to the Arkansas Derby, it's a good segue to the pace because in the Arkansas Derby, Conquest Mo Money ran a brilliant race, fighting off all challengers until Classic Empire got a very sweet trip, sitting off of the pretty fast pace, and he ran him down right at the end. But Conquest Mo Money, I mean, look at this horse. He is a fighter. He barely lets Classic Empire by, and when he does, he doesn't fold his 10. He keeps fighting back. Conquest Mo Money has that perfect outside post. He's going off the lead. The other two are going to have to deal with him, but they're going to have to figure out, what do I do with Conquest Mo Money? Because he's fast, and he's good, and he's fresh. And Always Dream is going to have to figure out when he wants to move on him, how he wants to use his move, and he needs to save energy for later. Classic Empire and Julien Leparoux, he's not going to let him just easily ease up alongside of him. He is going to be there the whole way, in my opinion, because Classic Empire has speed. So I think Classic Empire is probably a better bet as 3 to 1, but the question is, are there other players? And I think Conquest Mo Money, by the way, should be used in your pick 4s and has an outside chance at a big price to wire this field. He is that kind of good horse because he's got the rest. It's been 5 weeks for him. Now, a horse that it's been 6 weeks for is Cloud Computing. And we'll take a look, and we'll go back to Gotham with Cloud Computing 2 starts ago. In the Gotham, just his second career start, 3 weeks after breaking his maiden at 6 furlongs, he was asked to go a mile and a 16th. He used his speed early on a track that was heavily biased towards the inside, while the eventual winner, who moved wide, was comfortably sitting in the rail, taking advantage of a super fast pace. Cloud Computing made his first move into that pace. He was right on the heels of that fast pace. And even though he was beaten by the more experienced J-Boys Echo, he never gave up. He continued to fight. A tremendous performance for a horse in just his second race. They wait 5 weeks. They go to the Wood Memorial. In the Wood Memorial, he broke slowly. He ends up last on a racetrack that was very tilted towards horses with speed. He had to make an early move to get into the race in the backstretch, and while he wasn't effective towards the end, he couldn't be effective on that racetrack, especially considering what happened early. And in my opinion, he still ran a very credible race, just his third start under the circumstances. Now he's had 6 weeks to lay in wait for the Preakness. To me, Cloud Computing is going to be a very good price, over 10-1, and I think he has an excellent chance to upset this field. Do I think he's the likeliest winner? No, I don't. I think that Always Dreaming is slightly more likely than Classic Empire, with a horse like Cloud Computing a somewhat distant third, but I think he's much more likely to win than his probable odds. Now let's look at some of the other new shooters coming from different directions, starting with Senior Investment coming out of the Lexington. Senior Investment, okay, he's improving. If you like him and you think he's ready to take another big jump forward, have at it. To me, he is too slow, and he benefited from a tremendous setup and a great ride by Channing Hill in the Lexington, because a lot of horses moved too soon. The pace was quick. The eventual third-place finisher, No Dozing, got in a lot of trouble, and Senior Investment was the fortunate recipient of circumstance. Is he an okay horse? Yeah, but I think the horse probably belongs more in the Sir Barton, and I like the horse actually that finished fourth in the Lexington in the Sir Barton. We'll get to that at another time. Senior Investment is over his head, as likely is the likely raced Multiplier, who won the Illinois Derby. Now, the Illinois Derby came up a pretty fast race, so maybe he's a horse that's improving by leaps and bounds, but once again, he won by a head with a perfect trip over Hedge Fund, who's probably the horse to beat in the Sir Barton. Do you want to bet him in the Preakness? I don't care what price he is. He seems very, very hard to like. So the question becomes, what do you do in betting this Preakness? Do horses like Looking at Lee have a chance? Not in my opinion. I think he got a very good ride to come up the gold rail in the Kentucky Derby. Can you give a pass to Gunnevera or Hence? Maybe you can. If you were fans of them in the Kentucky Derby, you want to use the wet track as an excuse, be my guest. At a big price, bet a few dollars on it if you like them. I'm not their biggest fans, but I would use them third or fourth in tries or supers if I were playing those bets. I think you're supposed to bet against Always Dreaming. Not because he might not be the best horse in the race, but because he's going to be a dramatic underlay. Kentucky Derby winners are always overbet. He's gotten very good trips in his races, and I think he's very vulnerable to Classic Empire. For me, it's Cloud Computing, the number 2 horse, over the 5 Classic Empire with a little Conquest Mo money and Always Dreaming in the 3rd and 4th slot. I'm trying to beat the favorite from the Kentucky Derby in the Preakness. You should be betting this Preakness. You should be betting it with Naira Bets. We've got a 10% winner's bonus on the trifecta. That's 10% mobile only through Naira Bets. And once again, no better time than now to sign up for Naira Bets and get that $150 bonus. Bet 150, get 150. Use the promo code STAKES. Sign up for Naira Bets. Bet the Preakness. A lot of great action coming up.